Welcome back to Askewed Reviews, and today we have a double fan request, and it is for the 2010 horror comedy fantasy Rubber. Here is your trivia question for today. What is the tire's name? The answer will be at the end of this video. Rubber has a very odd but also very interesting introduction. We get to meet a group of people that are known as the spectators, that are essentially the audience within the movie that are watching from a distance with binoculars. So, the movie that we and they are observing is all about our main character here, who happens to be a tire, one that actually becomes animated and begins moving on its own. At one point in the film, this tire runs into a girl named Sheila, who he becomes intrigued by and apparently decides to start stalking a little bit. The tire does have some moments of self reflection throughout the film. Oh, and this particular tire apparently has telekinesis, as it begins using its powers to make bunnies, birds, and humans' heads explode. And this movie existing is all thanks to one man, Quentin Dupieux. He was the director, writer, cinematographer, editor, and the composer for this film. He also apparently likes going by the name Mr. Oizo. One of the most impressive things about this film is there is very little CGI used. In fact, most of it was done with practical effects. Now, the original concept for this film actually had it as cubes from space, but Quentin realized that it was very hard to do the special effects that he wanted to do, so he changed it to being a killer tire. This particular spectator right here that plays the dad is actually the actor Daniel Quinn. What's interesting about him being in this film is that he did a movie called Scanner Cop, where he was a person who had the ability to make people's heads explode with his mind. This is something I found fascinating. Apparently, the number of tires at the end of the movie is the same number of spectators that die throughout the film. Makes you wonder now whether or not they got reincarnated into tires. In my own personal opinion, Wings Hauser, as the man in the wheelchair, gets the best line in this movie, as he says, "Hey, wait, it's not over. He's been reincarnated as a tricycle." There's a nice nod towards this movie in the video game Annie Last Hope. There's quite a few animated sentient tires rolling around, and even one that's a giant tractor tire that's a boss at one point. So when it comes to the movie Rubber, I'm sure that there's quite a few people who may not like this movie at all. I actually really enjoyed it. I thought it was interesting, thought provoking, and very odd, which is right in my wheelhouse. So I'm going to give this movie a 4 out of 5. Now, here is your trivia question. What is the tire's name? So it's never stated throughout the film, but in the actual end credits, they give the tire the name Robert. This Askewed Review episode, just the same as the movie, was made for no reason. But I do hope you enjoyed it. If there's any other movies you would like to see get a review, mention it in the comments. And as always, like, comment, share, and subscribe.